most hype person in the club. Like,
Yeah, you guys get the natural high. I don't know where that comes from.
yeah, that's me. So yeah, we went clubbing the one time, and then the name came about.
It's vague, ladies and gentlemen. It's very vague, but I'm gonna get the answer eventually.
You'll have to kill me.
Whoa. It's a touchy subject right now.
No. Or I'll have to kill you. I think it's rather no, whichever.
Hey man,
on.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So you're dealing with all these things at once. You know, you're in a call center. You're dealing with your business, you're baking and cooking and all that. And you mentioned that you get anxiety, especially when you're doing unfinished projects, right?
That too.
And
but life in general just has anxiety.
So how do you find that space to like relax? What is your downtime? What do you do just to like cool off?
Bake more.
So the one thing that's actually causing you stress.
No, you're misunderstanding. Baking calms me down. It comforts me. I stress bake. Or I bake when I'm panicking or have anxiety or stuff like that. I bake or cook. I need to be in the kitchen. Sometimes I just used to lay on the kitchen floor and it made me feel better.
Wait, what?
It was literally just being in the kitchen that made me feel better.
Okay, because you just skipped over that like there's nothing. I'm like, wait, did I hear you correctly?
So yeah. The thing that I think stresses me is putting the product together to finish it off. It's not the baking part of it. It's the finishing, the decor. That part starts giving me stress. Like, especially if I have a cake for, let's say I have a cake for tomorrow, right? So I'd bake it today and decorate it. Like, I bake it in the morning and then decorate towards the afternoon, evening once it's cooled, so that tomorrow it's ready. Or if I'm working, then I'll bake it in the evening, and then I'll have to wait a couple of hours for it to cool, and then probably go to bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So if I go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, but not all the pieces of that cake are put together, I won't sleep properly. And for some other reason, I don't know how this works, but my mind works in very interesting ways. I feel like the cake has fallen off the countertop or out of the fridge, and it's just like a disaster.
It's paranoia, right?
Yes, basically. Yeah. Which causes me anxiety, and then it causes my insomnia. It's hectic here.
Has this thing like elevated that anxiety, or have always been like that as a person?
I think it's probably elevated. I didn't actually realize that I've always had anxiety. I just brushed it off. I didn't know. And insomnia, I literally found out 3 weeks ago that I've actually been suffering from insomnia. All of my life that I've been suffering from insomnia.
How do you figure that out?
As opposed to just these couple of years that I've known I've had insomnia. So one, I used to be a very light sleeper. I'm not anymore. I don't know what happened, but thank you, Jesus. Well, sometimes I am. Yeah. So I didn't know that it was a problem to sleep for 2 hours, wake up for wait for like another 2 hours, and go back to bed again for another 2 hours. I didn't know that was insomnia. So it is. I didn't know that.
Okay.
So to me, insomnia was you just didn't sleep. You were awake the entire time.
Yeah.
That was what it meant to me.
I can just pull up my clothes up. There we go.
Little did I know that I've been suffering from insomnia my whole life. So I was reading. I don't even know what prompted me to
Wait, is this self-diagnosed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was reading. It's the internet doctors.
Right. I don't trust that shit that much.
Anyway, but I read a few articles, man. Yeah. And I was like, so me sleeping for 2 hours and waking up and being awake for like another 2 hours or an hour and then going back to sleep again is insomnia. So like that's been happening most of my life, and I just thought, because generally I'd wake up to like go use the bathroom or like drink water. Yeah. And then I was just like, okay, I'm awake, so let me just lay in bed, and it takes me longer than everyone else to fall asleep. Because generally already it takes me about an hour to fall asleep. I need to lay in my bed for like an hour before I can fall asleep.
Okay.
And then I'll sleep for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and I'll wake up again, go to the bathroom, drink water. Then I'll lay in my bed for like another 2 hours, 3 hours, and I'll go to bed. And then I'd wake up automatically at 6 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't matter what time we're into bed. 6 o'clock in the morning is my time. So I was reading and I was like, oh, so all of this time that I haven't been able to sleep is called insomnia. But I just thought when I'm not able to sleep at night, like if I go into my bed at like 10 and I can't fall asleep till like 4 o'clock in the morning, that's insomnia. But lo and behold.
Yeah. And the anxiety, was that, was that diagnosed like by a doctor or?
No, I don't know. I think you know how anxiety feels like without, okay.
Yeah, to some degree. I don't think it's that crazy for me, but yeah, I know how it feels.
My anxiety actually only started around 1 December, I think it was 2018. There's something that happened, and then after that, it's coupled with like paranoia and like the constant thinking of that thing that happened, and I'm just like, and now it's just been exacerbated by baking as well. So now all of a sudden, I'm just like anxious, and like it just get heart palpitations, and just it's just like.
And that's
or you just don't want to do anything. You just like fall into like a slight depression, and you're just like, okay, you need to get out of this because this is exhausting. Like to the point where not even baking can take me out of it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to see a specialist.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend it, but on the flip side, I'm not a person that's into medication, because I know they're gonna prescribe some really strong stuff, and I'm not a fan. I don't take pills. I like natural supplements though.
Oh no, I'm a druggie.
Oh.
So you know.
Medical drugs.
Yes, that is it. No man, I suffer from migraines and headaches, which I didn't know are two different things, but apparently they are. I suffer from migraines and headaches, so I always have like painkillers. I tried my hardest not to take painkillers. Like if a week or 2 weeks go by without me taking painkillers, I've won. Like, I'm winning.
It's so sad, but I understand. Like, that's an accomplishment. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, my mom suffers from migraines, nosebleeds, hay fever. So it was like, oh, here you go.
Just
basket
pass it on.
Here you go.
They'll deal with it eventually.
So yeah, so it's that. So if I go through like 2 weeks, then I don't have a headache, or if I don't have pain and I don't have to take a painkiller. There was a time where I went, I think, a month and a half, and I was like, yay! I don't take a painkiller. But like the slightest thing can set off a headache. So. I've gone to doctors for that, done tests for that. My doctor's like, there's really, just at this point, I don't want to prescribe like deep things because it's too much medication.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So,
you're gonna be drugged up.
So like, me and drugs, we're best friends.
Have you ever like considered any other methods to cope with, let's say, your migraines, the anxiety?
Anxiety, I just try to be as calm as possible to not let things get to me as much, but I'm an overthinker, so that's
I'm fine. I'm looking at you and I'm
why do you think I try to be so chirpy all the time? Because I'm trying not to overthink things or just be like in like a terrible space, because then that just causes me horrid.
Yes, I get you.
Yeah. So, man, be happy, listen to music, have funny things on TV.
So that is your downtime. Catching a little series here and there.
Yeah. Making a little meal.
type of lifestyle that we're living over here is not the same. People say they never gon' change, but they change. Times are moving faster, ain't no time to switch a lane. Keep me out of range, they say nothing strange. Load my ammo in my clip and I go ham.